Have you ever reacted in a way that didn't feel like you? You say something too sharp in a conversation. You avoid sending a simple message for hours. You freeze when someone asks you a direct question. You scroll instead of starting the task you know matters. And later, when you're calm, you think, why did I do that? That's not who I want to be. Most people assume these moments reveal their personality. They think they're anxious, undisciplined, overly sensitive, bad under pressure. But in many of those moments, it wasn't your personality in control. It was your threat system. And unless you understand how that system works, you will keep fighting behaviors that feel irrational, when they are actually biological. Deep inside your brain is a small structure called the amygdala. Its role is simple: detect danger and initiate a response. It does not analyze whether the danger is real, imagined, social, or physical. It scans for patterns that resemble threat and reacts fast. Very fast. The information from your environment reaches your threat system before it reaches your rational mind. That means your body can react before your conscious thoughts catch up. Your heart rate changes. Your muscles tighten. Your breathing shifts. Your attention narrows. Only after this cascade begins does your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for reasoning, impulse control, and long-term planning, fully engage. That delay is small. But it's enough. This is why you sometimes react and only later realize you overreacted. Your brain prioritized speed over accuracy. And from an evolutionary perspective, that made sense. If something looked like a predator, hesitation could be fatal. But here's the problem. Modern life is not filled with predators. It's filled with meetings, deadlines, messages, opinions, expectations, comparisons, and uncertainty. Yet your brain often treats these as threats. A critical tone in someone's voice can trigger the same circuitry that once prepared your ancestors to fight or flee. An unanswered message can feel like social exclusion. A performance review can feel like a threat to survival. Your nervous system does not clearly distinguish between physical danger and social danger. It interprets both through the lens of status and belonging. And for most of human history, losing status or being excluded from the group was life-threatening. So when you feel anxious before speaking up, your brain may not be protecting your ego. It may be protecting your place in the tribe. When you procrastinate on something important, your brain may not be lazy. It may be avoiding perceived risk. Consider procrastination. You sit down to begin a project. Before you even start, a subtle discomfort appears. What if it's not good enough? What if someone judges it? What if you fail? That discomfort is interpreted as threat. Your threat system activates. You feel restless, distracted, slightly uneasy. Your brain looks for relief. You check your phone. You tidy your desk. You open a new tab. The moment your anxiety decreases, your brain marks the behavior as effective. Dopamine reinforces it, not because scrolling is meaningful, but because anxiety reduction feels like safety. And just like that, a pattern forms. You think you lack discipline. But your brain thinks it successfully avoided danger. The same mechanism explains emotional reactions. Someone challenges your opinion. Before you consciously process their argument, your body shifts. You feel heat in your chest. Your tone sharpens. You interrupt. Later, you replay the conversation and wonder why you were defensive. From your brain's perspective, disagreement can signal status threat. And status threat activates defense. You are not choosing defensiveness in those milliseconds. You are reacting to perceived danger. Over time, repeated threat responses solidify into identity labels. Avoiding conflict becomes, I'm just non-confrontational. Freezing under pressure becomes, I'm bad at public speaking. Overthinking becomes, I'm just analytical. Perfectionism becomes, I have high standards. Sometimes these labels contain truth. But often, they are survival strategies repeated so frequently that they feel like personality. Your brain is constantly learning. Every time a behavior reduces discomfort, it becomes more likely to repeat. If avoiding something lowers anxiety, avoidance becomes the default response. And here's something critical: when your threat system is active, your cognitive capacity narrows. Creativity decreases. Flexibility drops. Memory retrieval weakens. Risk tolerance shrinks. Tunnel vision takes over. In emergencies, this is useful. But in modern challenges, presentations, creative work, leadership, conversations, tunnel vision undermines performance. This is why anxiety makes you forget what you prepared. Why pressure makes you less articulate. Why fear can make capable people look incompetent. It's not incompetence. It's neuroprioritization. Your brain is choosing safety over expansion. The deeper issue arises when the threat system becomes chronically activated. If you constantly expose yourself to comparison-heavy content, evaluation environments, or internal self-criticism, your baseline sensitivity increases. The amygdala becomes more reactive. Smaller triggers create larger responses. Now minor uncertainty feels overwhelming. Small mistakes feel catastrophic. Everyday tasks feel intimidating. You might start believing you're fragile. But what's actually happening is conditioning. The brain becomes efficient at whatever it practices. If it practices fear, it becomes skilled at detecting fear. So how do you change this? Not by eliminating fear. Fear is protective. The goal is recalibration. You must teach your brain the difference between discomfort and danger. That distinction is everything. The first step is recognition without shame. When anxiety rises, most people immediately attack themselves. Why am I like this? I should be better than this. This is stupid. Shame intensifies threat. Self-criticism signals danger internally. Instead, try a different approach. My threat system is active. That sentence shifts you from identity judgment to system observation. You move from, I am the problem, to, a process is running. Observation creates space. Space reduces intensity. The second step is physiological regulation. You cannot think your way out of an activated threat response. Your body must calm first. Slow breathing. Longer exhales than inhales. Relaxed shoulders. Loosened jaw. These are not relaxation cliches. They are neural signals. When your breathing slows, your vagus nerve communicates safety to the brain. When your heart rate stabilizes, your prefrontal cortex regains influence. Clarity returns after safety is restored, not before. The third step is controlled exposure. Avoidance teaches the brain that the avoided situation was truly dangerous. Exposure teaches the brain that it was survivable. But exposure must be manageable. If speaking up scares you, speak a little more than usual. If posting something feels vulnerable, post something imperfect. If starting feels overwhelming, begin with the smallest version possible. Each time you move through discomfort without catastrophic outcome, your threat system updates. Your brain learns from evidence, not intentions. You can tell yourself you're confident. But your brain believes patterns. Every avoided action strengthens the threat loop. Every completed action weakens it. This is neuroplasticity in real time. Over weeks and months, small exposures reshape your response curve. Situations that once triggered intense anxiety begin to feel neutral. And something important shifts. You stop seeing yourself as someone who overreacts. You stop seeing yourself as not disciplined. You stop seeing yourself as bad under pressure. You start recognizing that you are operating with an overprotective system. And overprotective systems can be retrained. Control, then, is redefined. Control is not the absence of fear. Control is the ability to act while your threat system whispers warnings. It is the skill of distinguishing discomfort from danger. It is the discipline of choosing long-term alignment over short-term relief. Most people believe they need more motivation. Often, what they need is regulation. Because when safety becomes internal instead of conditional, when you no longer require perfect certainty to feel okay, your reactions become deliberate. Your decisions slow down. Your responses align with values instead of impulses. You become less reactive and more intentional. And here is the final insight. You are not your first reaction. You are the awareness that notices it. Your threat system was built for survival in a world that no longer exists. It still scans for lions when you are facing emails. It still prepares for exile when someone disagrees. It is loyal. It is fast. It is outdated. The goal is not to silence it. The goal is to update it. When your brain feels safe, creativity expands. When your nervous system is regulated, clarity sharpens. When threat sensitivity decreases, opportunity increases. You stop fighting yourself. You start leading yourself. Decode the system. Recalibrate the pattern. And you will discover that most of what you called weakness was simply wiring waiting to be understood.